And a happy Wednesday to you. Try as they might, the Mariners just can't quite figure out a way to beat Philadelphia. After scoring 3 runs in the 7th inning to tie the game at 4, the Phillies came right back with a 2-run home run in the 8th off Matt Brash and won at 6-4, handing Seattle their 4th straight loss.
And a high fly ball out to right field. It is on cue! Solo home run, Kyle Schwarber. 15 consecutive series with a home run.
Rips straight into that swelling.
Arozarena out to left field. Marsh has it short, hop the wall. Crawford hits third, is on his way home. Arozarena with a run scoring double. This game is tied in the 3rd inning.
Center field. Rodriguez going back. It will be deep enough to score Stott. Turner's tagging as well. The throw goes toward 3rd. And it's a sac fly for Bryce Harper. 59 RBIs. Phillies retake the lead. Well, they do that. There's a base hit to center field as Rodriguez will play it on a hop. Turner will score. Real Muto has hit it 4 straight. 3-1 Phils. The high fly ball to deep right field. Bryson Stott has just smashed a solo home run. His 8th of the year. The Phillies are on top 4-1. And Bill wanted Bryson Stott to get going. He thought that was important. Well, he's got him going tonight.
Saws him off. A weak ground ball. Dylan Moore races home. Julio retired. The Mariners grab a run. Wasn't much left of that bat by the handle. Randy into 3rd. Cal into 2nd. This is fair and past the dive of Bohm. Arozarena in. Here comes Cal Raleigh. He scores. This game is now tied in the 7th. Eugenio Suarez coming through for the Mariners.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's ever a time for Gino Suarez to start heating up in the Mariners uniform, it is now. Look at this. It's his 2nd extra base hit of the night, this time pulling that ball into left field. All of a sudden, this game is tied.
Fair ball backed up. Polanco with Spire covering.
Wow.
And there is out number 3. Well, heads up Polanco, heads up Spire. And it's a 1-2-3 inning with a little bit of a surprise ending to the whole thing.
3rd most extra base hits. JT smokes one to deep left field. And the Phillies are back on top. A 2-run home run for Real Muto. It's his 9th of the year. It's a 6-4 game. And that is only the 2nd home run that Brash has allowed in 32 1/3 innings. Duran to Raleigh. Swing and a miss. He got him. One fastball after another. And Duran closes this one out as he gets the major league leader in home runs to go down on strikes. And the Phillies win it 6-4.
The game marked the return of Bryce Miller from the injured list, lasting 5 innings in his first start back. Manager Dan Wilson says the outing was as expected.
Bryce, I thought, was, threw the ball pretty well, got us through the 5 innings there. Set up the bullpen in a nice spot and able to, come back and get back in this game. Huge day for Gino. I think 3 hits tonight and a couple RBIs. I thought, that 2-out double there was huge and obviously tied the game for us. And we were able to get some hits, some traffic, they just. I thought they did the same on Bryce. They got some traffic there in the 3rd, and then a couple of solos. But for the most part, it was a good return for Bryce, and just a tough one to lose tonight. His first pitch, and able to get something that he could handle, and he drove it out of the ballpark. He's a tough hitter, and he's an experienced hitter, and he just got something he could drive out of the ballpark. Yeah, I think this was what we had hoped to see. I thought the velo was good. I thought his secondaries were in good shape. He did what he had to keep us in the game and got through the 5. I think, like you said, it's a good one to build on and one to keep moving forward from. you know, this is where we're at. This is the time of the year, time of the season, and you know, we come out, we've got to put this one behind us and come out tomorrow and be ready to play, and you know, quick turnaround, but we've been here before, and you know, we just got to come out tomorrow ready to go.
Mariners have the day off tomorrow before heading to home to take on the Athletics Friday. That'll be at 7:10 on Root Sports Northwest. Houston lost in a pitcher's duel in 10 innings at Detroit 1-0 after the starters combined for 16 strikeouts. It was a bases-loaded walk that gave the Tigers a literal walk-off win. Kansas City topped Texas 5-2. The Athletics got by Minnesota 6-3. Cincinnati beat the Angels 6-4. The Seahawks left for Wisconsin today to practice against the Packers tomorrow prior to their preseason game on Saturday. Linebacker Ernest Jones IV says starters get a better look in these types of practices rather than in preseason games.
Yeah, I think it's just more so focused on, you know, like ones are getting really meaningful reps. I think, you know, you get into preseason games and, you know, a lot of times, you know, you won't get enough reps of plays coming your way. I think in those joint practices, you get a good look, you know, a lot of things that are going to come your way, but just get another feel for another team, how they operate. So it's good. Just, you know, go scheme for scheme and see what's better.
Veteran wide receiver Cooper Kupp says he's not a fan of participating in preseason games, but will get what he can out of practicing against the Packers.
Yeah, I think it's just an opportunity to see, you know, different techniques, different coverages. Obviously, the competitiveness it's just different. You know, it's just different. I don't want to say it's more or less than what you're doing each and every day. I mean, we come out here every day with a very competitive mindset with how we handle our business, and but it's just a different, you know, different body across the line of scrimmage from you, and it's good to have those opportunities and just see some different things, try your stuff out against some different looks, and yeah, it'll be a good competitive day.
Seattle's new offense broke through with 33 points and nearly 500 yards last week against Kansas City. Jones says it's been fun to see the progress made under Clint Kubiak's new scheme.
I think encouraging would follow the lines that we didn't believe it. I've kind of said this once before. I've seen them from the first day they got in here, started going over that playbook. It was rocky those first couple weeks of OTAs where we go offense, defense, but from that first day to the first day of training camp was a big difference. I knew they had it in them to get up there, attack the ball, and just run off the ball. Let's run the rock. Let's create explosives after that. And, I knew they had it in them, honestly. It wasn't a surprise at all. I think the movement, I think, specifically here, how they get up to the line, like they're super decisive. From the moment the huddle's broken, receivers, O-line, running backs, they're breaking out. Sam's walking up, getting his reads, and, after a motion or two, the ball snaps. So I think they do a good job getting set, and then when it's time to roll, they roll.
Seattle has two rookies who will start on offense in Gray Zabel and Robbie Oots, while other draft picks, Nick Eamon-Warry, Torrey Horton, and Jalen Milroe, making their own mark. Jones says this class is very different from when he was drafted.
I've said this once before. I always feel like my class of rookies were like some of the, I don't want to say dumb, but wasn't that smart. And, I see the classes after, and just speaking on this one, these guys are super smart. Coming in, picking up the playbook the way they are, coming in, just attacking each and every day. They're different than my class, I'll say that. 4 or 5 years ago, we were a lot, hard-headed. So these guys are good.
Seattle and Green Bay play their final preseason game Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. That'll be on King 5 TV. Continuing our look at prep football to come, the Cashmere Bulldogs enter their second season in the South Central Athletic Conference this year after a 10-2 campaign last season, with those 2 losses coming against Royal, the final of which in the state semifinals. Brian Bremer looks to reload this season. Cashmere starts the season home against Wapato September 5th. They'll visit Kiona Benton the 12th and host College Place in Wahluke to wrap up September. They'll kick off October at Royal the 3rd and return home for homecoming the 10th against Zilla, a game that'll be broadcast on the NCWLIFE channel. The Bulldogs travel to Connell and Chelan before finishing against Natchez Valley on Halloween. Up Highway 2 in Leavenworth, Cascade remains just one of 3 teams remaining in the Caribou Trail League after a 4-4 season a year ago. Coach Carl Haberberger enters his 4th season looking for better. Kodiak's open at Liberty Bell September 5th and travel to Coupeville and Natchez Valley and Manson before before their first home game in Peshastin against Tonasket October 3rd. That starts a string of 3 games at home in a row, with Brewster and Medical Lake coming to town before heading for Omak October 24th. Regular season concludes October 30th at home against Chelan. By the way, if you want to see all of our local sports football teams' schedules, head to our website at NCWLIFE.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.